Good.
Live.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is the regularly scheduled Finance Committee meeting. It is July 21st, 2025, and it is 5:15. On the committee, we have present with us this evening, Councillor Beck, Councillor Dean, Councillor Fournier, and Councillor Tremble. Also at the table, we have the interim finance director, Stephanie Kimball. And joining us tonight, we also have Chair Pelletier and Councillor Hawes and Councillor Mallow. The first thing we have on the agenda tonight is topics about bids and purchasing.
Okay, thank you. The first bid is the naloxone kits. Staff is requesting approval to award contracts for naloxone in dosages of 4 milligrams and 3 milligrams nasally and 0.4 milligrams / 1 ml intramuscular injections. The distribution program is part of the State of Maine Naloxone Distribution Initiative, and grants have been made available through Maine DHHS since 2019. The budget's $754,000. We received bids from 8 vendors, and we had to select from multiple vendors as one vendor did not provide all the items requested. The 4 milligrams were $24 per kit, the 3 milligrams were $34 per kit, and the intramuscular was $19.05 per kit.
We move approval of staff recommendation on the question after.
Second.
What, is this funded through grant? What's the funding of this?
Can I call Jamie to the table?
Also, well, she's, Courtney O'Donnell, Assistant City Manager, just so everybody knows, the resolve to accept and appropriate the grant funding for this is the first item on GovOps.
Yes,
But
that
certainly,
answers that question, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
but-
that's an upcoming grant.
Health Promotions Manager Jamie Comstock's also here to answer
Okay,
questions as
no,
well.
I'm good now, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so do we have any other questions, or we'll have it on the agenda next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yes.
Up next, Urban Forestry Management Plan.
Okay, we have a bid for the Urban Forestry Management Plan. Public Works Forestry Division was awarded a grant in August of 24 for $75,000. The RFP resulted in 5 bidders ranging from $53,960 to $137,000. After reviewing the bids, it was determined that Eocene Environmental Group out of West Des Moines provided the most comprehensive response. The bid was $53,960, and they were the lowest bidder.
Okay, any questions?
Just a disclosure, it's not the recommended bidder, but Du Bois and King, one of the bidders, is a tenant of mine. So I don't know if I need to recuse myself or just disclosing that. They're not the recommended bidder, but they are one of the bidders.
Oh, a tenant of yours?
Yes,
Okay, do we have any objections for Councillor Trumbull to participate the decision on this or motion for this?
I don't have a problem with that.
No objection? Okay, I think we're fine. Do we have a motion to accept this bid?
I'll make a motion to accept the bid.
Second. And this too will be on Monday's agenda. Thank you. And fire truck engine.
Okay, the fire department is requesting a new fire engine purchase. They maintain a fleet of 4 fire engines. 3 are frontline engines and the 4th is a spare. All of the engines and ladders are built by Pierce Manufacturing. The last 3 trucks were purchased through Pierce with funds appropriated in the fiscal year 26 budget. The department is seeking approval for the purchase of a fire engine with Pierce. The price is $1,158,294, which is below the budgeted amount of $1.2 million. And we have Chief Lowe here to speak on that.
Jeff Lowe, Fire Chief.
And we have a couple of questions, Councilor Trumbull.
so would we be doing the option when we get the 80 or prepayment to get the $80,000 discount?
I believe that's the way we would go. That's typically how we purchase them.
And do we know what we would get for, are we gonna have a trade-in?
I believe the truck will go, I'll ask Deputy Chief
Was that-
Pelletier, who was
right out
actually
to
kind of
bid.
point on this. Was that a trade-in, Eric? That was our truck going to reserve status.
Eric Pelletier, Deputy Chief. We haven't explored an option of a trade-in option yet. So
Okay, but that's an option with the peer, is this Pierce?
that
or-
could be an option. We'd have to discuss that with the
Okay.
manufacturer.
Okay. I would move staff recommendation.
I think Council Houseman.
Oh, it also have
I
to-
just have a question. So when you get this truck delivered and it pulls in the yard at the station, is it fire ready? Or does it need further equipment added to it that would increase the cost?
Further equipment, right?
So we would likely take some equipment from our other apparatus to put on this one. So
What we can transfer over, we will. The expectation is that we'll end up needing to buy fire hose and other certain pieces of equipment, but we'll salvage what we can.
Any other questions, Council Mallon?
Because we're going for a specific vehicle, did you consult other suppliers or manufacturers? I believe the bid process says you can go for a special bid from one company, but you should be checking with other companies. It would be nice to know if there's a vast difference, because it's gonna be what, 2-year delivery time?
Yes, yeah. So we work under what's called HGAC, which is the Houston Galveston Purchase Agreement. And it's a nationwide consortium, if you will, that puts out fire apparatus bids for both ladder trucks, pumper trucks, all of those types of equipment. So that is the way that, as I understand it, the department has purchased in the past. That's where we've been able to save the most amount of money. I will tell you that from the industry, some of the sticker shock you're seeing with this truck in relation to previous years, where I think the last one was around $600,000 or a little over, has to do with COVID, supply chain shortages, a narrowing of the market where you only have 3 groups that are producing trucks right now versus a whole host of manufacturers before. So really, there's almost, it's not quite a monopoly, but it's 3 groups that are pretty much owning the entire market. Did we seek out individual companies and break away from the HGAC purchasing policy? No, not that we've done it. We've followed that path traditionally. That's the path we went with this time.
I understand what you're saying, but I believe the purchasing code that we follow that requires you to go, at least go out and ask other companies what it would cost for something over 200, when it's over $250,000. It doesn't say you can't buy from this company,
Right.
but you have to go to them, others, and ask the question. I mean, it would be illogical to accept a bid for 1.2 million, say, when 2 other companies come in at 900,000. So we don't know that because you haven't gone out yet.
So this is the process that was approved by previous councils, and I think I would have to defer to either finance or the city manager to explain why, or to give some justification as to why we haven't followed the standard process that we follow.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not able to answer that.
Should we, do we want further information on this, or do we need a motion this evening?
Yeah, I made a motion.
have a motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Okay, do we have a second? Okay. Thank you.
So maybe it would be a good idea to go out and explore other options down the road.
So, yeah, so I think, and I don't want to overspeak, not knowing the system as well as I do. Or as well as some of the others here do. The process that we use has vetted companies against each other in the manner that you're talking about. So by going into the group purchase, that legwork has already been done. What we do is we buy into that program for a certain amount of money. And then we look at their specifications to make sure they're what meets the needs of the city of Bangor. And that's how we acquire apparatus. I think this is I think that for us to change our process at this point with our history in this process and the amount of investment and equipment we have to support these types of vehicles would require a directive beyond me to do. I'm not opposed to doing it. I just want somebody to tell me to do it if that makes sense to you.
Council
Well, I'm
Prince?
guessing this Houston Co-op must bid out for hundreds of fire trucks, so they're
Yes.
gonna get a better price than us bidding out for one fire truck every 3 or 4
Yes,
years.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, thank you for clarifying.
yeah, yeah.
Council Jean?
Just for peace of mind, could that company perhaps provide us with a couple of different bids, just so we can see where they're coming from?
So sorry, may I interrupt?
Yes.
Courtney O'Donnell, Assistant City Manager. I actually just pulled up the purchasing policy real quick, just to double check myself. The request tonight is under the sole source procurement 3-106. Subsection 1 on page 16, which says a contract may be awarded without competition when the finance committee determines, after conducting a good faith review of available resources, that there is only one source for the required supply. Purchasing agent or respective department head shall conduct negotiations, etc. Subsection 2 goes on around sole source requirements for FTA funded procurements. And there's a whole lot of additional subsections. One of those relates to what Councilor Mallor mentioned in terms of a single bid or proposal. So that section actually only applies to FTA funded procurement. As opposed to all others, which would fall under that subsection 1 that says basically the finance committee, it's under the discretion of the finance committee.
Okay,
And don't we also buy police cars in the state of Maine, bid on the bid for the state of Maine? So,
Yeah, that's a little different simply because that would be waiving the bid process because we went through like a sort of a bid process, just with a higher level entity. In this case, fire trucks are such specialized equipment. There are only a few suppliers. And also I think, as another request coming forward will kind of indicate a lot of this equipment is so specialized that kind of once you go with one, you're locked in. It becomes a lot harder to maintain the parts and things between the increase of the equipment when you have the different manufacturers and all the different nuance and things. And if I had to guess, fire trucks are quite similar because we did look backward, and the last time this was awarded under the sole source was in 2023. And actually it had been done twice before that as well.
thank you for that explanation. We all set with this? Any other questions? Waive bid process.
Okay, so the next one is purchase of power ambulance stretchers. The fire department uses 5 ambulance, all equipped with Stryker brand power stretchers. The current stretchers are almost 10 years old and approaching end of life. Staff is seeking council to waive the bid process and award the purchase of 3 new power ambulance stretchers from Stryker Medical. The power load system in the ambulances only work with the Stryker brand. The total cost is $191,463, and funding is split between capital improvement funds and main EMS stabilization grant funding.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I did a question on the grant breakdown. So when we approved it, the amount we allocated was the 192,000. And I see we're only spending the 74,000 of it. I'm just wondering, the remaining amount of that, because the grant, at least we approved it, said it was for 2 stretchers. Now we're doing 3. I guess I'm just trying to figure out, what we're doing with the rest of that grant funding.
So I'll have Division Chief Ogden speak to that, where he's been managing the grant for us and has the finer details.
Jeremy Ogden, Division Chief. So just to clarify on the memo, it's actually a typo. It's 5 stretchers that we're asking for, not 3. So it's on me. I apologize. So the 192,000 for the grant was broken down a couple different categories. This latest grant from the Blue Ribbon Maine EMS Stabilization Funds, we could only use up to $100,000 in capital equipment, which they define as any one item over $5,000. So that's why not all 5 fall under that.
Okay, any other questions?
I move approval.
For that section,
Second.
second, okay. We'll see that on the agenda next week. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item up is a resolve amending the council resolve 25-201 to reduce the appropriation for the Bangor School Department.
So the council authorized appropriating 11,756,656 in June. It was recently discovered the resolve did not factor in changes made to the school budget and approved by the school committee prior to June. So now the funds are 10,610,573. This was due to changes in special education, transportation, and extracurricular activities, technology, and employee benefits. This was administrative only and had no impact on the school's total budget or the tax mill rate. The total budget resolve authorized by council on June 23rd included all of the changes to the school budget.
Any questions? Council Beck?
So was all the amount changed, or was it just the employee benefits that changed from the original resolve?
Can I call Jerry up, please?
So putting together the supporting numbers for the overall amount above the minimum, they're all taken off the ED 279 from the state of Maine, and they don't change. The one that is flexible at the end where you sort of adjust it accordingly, whatever you need to do, is the employee benefits. So that is where the full change occurred that you're seeing.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Will we recommend approval to the council?
We have a second. Second. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank
See you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have another resolve accepting and appropriating funds from FAA and MDOT for reimbursement of the runway rehab provision approach path indicators for the runway project.
This is under the bipartisan infrastructure law program in the amount of 31,605 from the FAA and $831 from Maine DOT. This is for the runway rehab precision approach path indicators at the Bangor International Airport. The local share is $831, which was budgeted and approved in the fiscal year 26 budget process. And we have Jose for any questions or comments.
Okay, we have any questions?
Just a minor one. So I was a local 831, 832. It says the state's 831, but the our document says 832.
So I'll double check. and
I was
see.
usually the same, it's usually the same.
It's the same, yes.
I would move approval.
831.50.
Second.
Very good, thank you. Next item up, number 4, we have a resolve accepting and appropriating an airport improvement program grant in the amount of $4,275,136 from FAA and $112,503 from MDOT for the airport runway.
This is for the last 1,058 feet of runway reconstruction. The grant requires a local match of $112,503, which was budgeted and approved during the budget process.
You have any questions?
Dan does.
I would move approval. I'm okay with the extra dollar.
Second.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And lastly, we have a finance update.
Okay, so the finance department's gone through changes in staffing, as you know. We've hired a new payroll and accounting specialist. Her name's Heather Boyce. She started on June 30th. She's doing a great job and she's learning very quickly. We do have a new purchasing coordinator who was offered the position. He will be starting July 28th, which is next Monday. He has a lot of experience with purchasing and we're anxious to get him started. The audit is ongoing. We've had auditors on site for the last 2 weeks. The fiscal year 24 audit is almost complete. The compliance piece is the last step. And the auditors have started working on fiscal year 25 at this time. And other than that, we've moved to City Hall and we're unpacking and organizing and doing our best to move on.
Counselor Fournier?
So we've been getting a weekly update from the auditor. But I
Okay.
haven't seen that for the last 2 weeks, maybe.
Okay. I will ask about that.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yep.
Any other questions? No one has anything else? I think we are good and we are adjourned at 5:35.
Okay.